She wanted everybody to be strong on her behalf.
It has been a long journey for Bomet Governor Joyce Laboso as she battled cancer. Her death today being the culmination of that journey that has seen her seek treatment in London, India and here at home. At the Nairobi hospital, minutes after news of her demise spread, family, friends and political leaders trooped to get first-hand information, and it was apparent she had rested. Tears could no longer be held back. Women leaders with whom she worked closely consoled family members at the Lee Funeral Home.
We have to be strong for her. As it has been mentioned, she's actually suffered for a long time, but we've kept it under wraps. She did not want it to deter her duty and all the things that she was doing. So she was very strong, and we can only reciprocate that by also being stronger for her at this time and moment.
Governor Laboso has been away from her office for some time now, receiving treatment, and a host of the country's leaders have visited her in London, India and here at the Nairobi hospital, including President Uhuru Kenyatta, Deputy President William Ruto, the Chief Justice David Maraga, ODM leader Raila Odinga and a host of governors.
With the amount of pain that she was going through, with the level of medicine that she had to be given so that she can overcome the pain, I think God has finally rested Joyce.
Earlier in the day, a statement from her office in Bomet and signed by the communications director acknowledged overwhelming goodwill from the people of Bomet and the country at large, but restricted visitation to limited people. The husband, Edwin Abonyo, says the people of Bomet have played a critical role in her political life, thanking them for holding on to the hope that she would have gotten better and come to work for them again.
It was something unprecedented in this country for her to be married elsewhere and then come and work elsewhere. It started from Sotik, and I also wish to thank the people of Sotik very, very much.
Deputy Governor Hilary Barchok says the death has hit the people of Bomet hard, but acknowledged she was integral in the day-to-day running of the county, even as she received treatment.
Wameweka systems in place, structures in place, departments zetu zilikuwa zikifanya kazi, na mara mingi tulikuwa tunaelezea wananchi kuwa hata ingawa gavana wetu hayuko ofisini, kazi ilikuwa inaendelea kwa sababu mpango yote ilikuwa imewekwa.
Deputy President William Ruto also announced the government's full support towards her burial preparations. The honors of running Bomet County has now been bequeathed on her deputy, who has given an indication that he will be following in her footsteps of making sure that every part of that county is developed. Kennedy Mureithi, NTV at the Lee Funeral Home.
President Uhuru Kenyatta conveyed his condolences to the family, relatives and friends of Dr. Joyce Laboso, as well as residents of Bomet County. In his message, President Kenyatta said, and I quote in part, "Governor Laboso was an outstanding and courageous servant leader who stood out as an icon of women leadership in our country. As a scholar who transitioned into political leadership, Dr. Joyce Cherono Laboso will be remembered for her passion for education, especially for the girl child, an area where she initiated and supported numerous projects, not just in Bomet, but across the entire country. The cruel hand of death has robbed our nation of a bold and illustrious leader who loved and served her country with distinction." Well, there has been an outpouring of condolence messages from other leaders as well. Here are just a few of what we put together.
I visited Joyce in a hospital in London about 6 weeks ago. Then she was strong. She was in pain, but we could have a very good conversation. But 10 days ago, when I went to see her at the ICU at Nairobi Hospital, she had completely changed, and you could see she was in pain, terrible pain. So I think that this has released her from pain. It is a big blow to the people of Bomet and the nation at large.
I went to India on behalf of the council, and when I went there, I found she was not very badly off. I couldn't think we would lose her as early as we have done today. But the only thing she told me, or she asked me, was, "Nyinyi mumepewa pesa." That was the last word. I talked with her. She had lost her voice.
Tutamiss sana Gavana Laboso. Ni pigo kubwa sana vile nimesema kwetu, na familia tunajua waombea Mungu awapatie nguvu kwa hii wakati mgumu, na tuko na wao kwa hili jonzi ambalo tuko nalo kwa sasa.
Ningependa kuchukua hii nafasi kupeana rambirambi zangu kwa familia na watu wote wa Bomet na Kenya kwa jumla. Ni siku ya huzuni, na tusimame pamoja kwa maombi, tuombee familia na tuombee kaunti yetu.
News of Dr. Laboso's death shattered her home county of Bomet. Laboso, born and raised in the small village of Kaplong, left a big part of her heart among the people whose lives she touched, rather. NTV Zainab Bundati is in Bomet and now reports on their grief.
The death of the governor of Bomet County has been received with a lot of sadness, with the residents here gathering in small groups to discuss what to do next and to mourn together. News of the death of Governor Joyce Laboso hit the residents of Bomet hard. They gathered in limping convoys to mourn her and discuss her life, how she impacted on them. Here at the county offices, a group has gathered at the county grounds to confront their grief. The news had shattered their world. Inside a hall, the county staff gathered to say special prayers for the late governor.
And I will know that in all this, God works for good of those who love him.
In her now empty office, the emotion was just as raw.
We are saddened. We've lost a leader. We've lost a mother. We've lost someone who was directing us and guiding us.
The hallways to her office were eerily quiet, the doors shut. This is where she had spent the last 2 years of her life.
Madam Governor has been an exemplary leader. She has been a great steward. It is difficult to imagine how someone will step into as one of the great Rift Valley leaders into shoes.
Many people have been praying for her, and for the time when she was in UK and when she was in India, and when she came back to Nairobi, people had hope that Madam was going to be back home very soon. But it is sad to receive this news at this moment that we have lost her.
The county's official flag now flies at half-mast.
Tumehuzunika sana hapa Bomet. Yeye alikuwa ameanza kufanya kazi mzuri sana.
Sasa tunashangaa tunaanzia wapi maisha, sababu hiyo mama tulikuwa tumesaidia sisi. Tunasema pole sana kwa mama yetu.
Huyu kapena yetu ilikuwa anapenda sisi, analinda sisi, anahurumia sisi kabisa. Lakini saa hii wamama wote wa Bomet tunalia.
Hata ukiona sasa venye hata saizi venye Bomet iko, yani nikatu huzuni, hata haikai tu hata kwa kazi, nilikuwa kazi lakini nilibitu nitoka kwa kazi.
Laboso will be remembered as the first female governor of Bomet, having served for only 2 years of her first term. County officials have appealed for calm and assured residents that the county will handle all funeral arrangements. Already 2 committees have been formed, one in Nairobi and another in Bomet, to plan Laboso's send-off. Zainab Bundati, NTV, in the county of Bomet.
Our very own Bridget Ngana is also in Bomet and joins us live. Bridget, it's just hard to imagine what the mood is like in Bomet at the moment.
Well, Okari, it's very somber and people are still trying to move on with their lives, but there is a sense of somberness among the people because they stayed for a very long time without even seeing the governor once she had been flown out of the country for treatment. But this afternoon they did get the the heart-wrenching news that the governor was no more. But I'm going to speak with the residents and just tell us maybe why cancer is also one of the leading non-communicable diseases in Bomet County. Karibu kwenye NTV, sema majina yako na unahisi vipi kuhusu ugonjwa wa saratani katika kaunti hii na kijua kwamba gavana wenu ameweza kuangamia kutokana na ugonjwa huu?
Asante sana. Mimi naitwa Mati Rono na mimi ni mkaaji wa Bomet. So kwa hakika tumepokea hizo habari kwa mshangao kubwa sana, na ningependa kutuma risala za rambirambi na niwaambie watu wa Bomet poleni sana, na tupatie Mungu, tumwambie Mungu ni asante kwa hiyo muda ametupatia. Gavana wetu amekaa hapa for like 2 years now, na ile kazi ametufanyia tunashukuru.
Ndio.
Na kwa hakika kansa imekuwa shida.
Ndio.
Changamoto kubwa sana. Hasa tumesikia katika kaunti yetu ya Bomet inaongoza katika kansa.
Ndio.
Na sana sana kansa ya koo.
Ndio.
Na tungependa serikali pia iangalie sana hii maneno ya kansa kwa sababu the government need to declare this disease as a national disaster. Kama vile walifanya wakati wa HIV. Tunaona saa hizi kansa sasa ndio inaongoza kuua watu wengi sana.
Asante sana. Acha nizungumze na mwingine. Mama, karibu. Najua pale mbeleni ulikuwa umeniambia pia umepoteza watu wawili kwa familia yenu wameweza kupatikana na ugonjwa wa saratani. Tueleze changamoto iko wapi katika wananchi wa Bomet katika kutibu ugonjwa huu ama kujua kama watu wako na ugonjwa huu?
Asante sana. Kwa majina naitwa Beatrice Koech. Nataka nitoe rambirambi zangu kwa familia, marafiki na watu wa Bomet kwa jumla kwa kupoteza mpendwa wetu, our governor Joyce Laboso. Kwa kweli hii imekuwa changamoto sana. We have been passing through this hardship for a long time. Na watu wengi wameungua kwa hii ugonjwa wa saratani, and tunaambia serikali watusaidie sana, wajenge hospitali ama wa improve equipments. Juu za zingine the equipments zenye zinapatikana kwa hospitali huenda labda haionyeshi hiyo saratani ikiwa kwa first stages. Sasa hiyo tunaomba serikali sana atusaidie improve equipments ili tuweze hii ugonjwa iweze kuonekana akiwa on early stages. Sasa
ndio. Kwa familia yako pengine hao wawili umesema ni aunties wako. Sasa wanaendelea vipi na ama bado wanaendelea kupata huduma za afya kwenye hospitali za umma?
Kwa kweli nilipoteza my grandmom juu ya cervical cancer, and auntie yangu tena alikuwa na breast cancer. Sasa hiyo imekuwa changamoto kwa ajili kuna watu wenye wanaweza kwenda ng'ambo kutibiwa, lakini most of the people we are down. Sasa tunaomba serikali sana tusaidie kwa ajili hii ugonjwa inahitaji pesa mingi.
Sawa, asante sana. Tukimalizia tu, karibu sana, utatueleza tu majina yako na pia wewe unamkumbuka aje gavana wenu marehemu Joyce Laboso na nini ingefanyika ili kujaribu kugangamiza saratani katika kaunti hii?
Kwanza kabisa majina yangu naitwa Philip Kiprono P, na nasema pole sana kwa gavana wetu ambao tulikuwa tunapenda. Tulikuwa tunatarajia atuchukue hatua nyingine kimaendeleo, lakini kwa bahati mbaya ugonjwa wa saratani ambao kabisa imeenea hapa Bomet, karibu kila masishi unasikia ni ugonjwa wa saratani ya koo, wakati mwingine ya breast cancer. Na tunaomba kabisa kama inasikana serikali yetu tukufu kama tutaweza pata facilities vile Joyce Laboso alikuwa anataka kuanzisha hospitali ya cancer peke yake hapa Bomet. Asante sana.
So there's a rallying call from the residents here that yes, they are noticing there is an increase in the instances of cancer among the population, and they do believe that the national government or the Ministry of Health and also with the county governments that are also managing the health department, they will be able to find a solution, a lasting solution, because they say it is very expensive to treat or even diagnose or even having the diagnostic capacity to treat or identify these cancers as early as possible so that they can be able also be treated, because cancer is a treatable disease if it is realized or diagnosed early enough. Okari.
Bridget Nkana, many thanks. The late Dr. Joyce Laboso was thrust into the political limelight following the death of her sister Lorna in a plane crash. Since then, it's been a journey of firsts, from the first female deputy speaker of the National Assembly to the first female governor of Bomet County. She's had quite the professional journey. Zainab Ismail brings us the life story of Dr. Joyce Laboso.
Dr. Joyce Cherono Laboso, born 59 years ago in Kericho, was the first of 6 children. Her ability to resolve her siblings' disputes as they grew up and leading as a school prefect right from primary to secondary school helped her hone her leadership skills. She had never thought of being a politician, and her debut into politics was unceremonious.
I, Laboso Joyce Cherono.
In September 2008, during the burial of her late sister and former Sutik legislator Lorna Laboso, who died in a plane crash, the elders chose her to fill her sister's shoes as Sutik Member of Parliament. She was later to trounce her closest opponent and captured the seat and led the constituency in 2 consecutive elections. In her 2 terms, she prioritized development of roads, education, water and electricity within her constituency. Dr. Laboso then went on to become the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly until 2017. During the 2017 general elections, Laboso defeated Isaac Ruto as Bomet governor and took office as the first female governor in that county. She was married to Edwin Abonyo, a former manager with Finlays. She dropped her husband's last name. Her marital status to a man from another community provided ammunition for her detractors to degrade her in her political journey. Her development record as the Member of Parliament for Sutik has been hailed as impressive. The construction of the Sutik-Borabu Highway remains a key project that bolstered her profile. The construction of Lorna Laboso Memorial School, an ultra-modern girls' school, is yet another. Joyce Laboso, one of the 3 first female governors in Kenya, together with Charity Ngilu and Anne Waiguru, has been hailed for breaking the glass ceiling in positions that were entirely dominated by men following the 2013 general election. She had always held women issues close to her heart. Laboso, a mother of 3 sons, succumbed to cancer at the Nairobi Hospital's intensive care unit where she was admitted. Zainab Ismail, NTV.
The 2017 election was groundbreaking. In many ways, it produced the country's first ever set of female governors. Bomet Governor Joyce Laboso was among those learning the ropes of leadership and politics at the very top. NTV's Brenda Wanga sat down with her 1 year into her term as governor and now joins us in studio with some insights into the kind of person she was. Brenda?
Well, Dennis, she wasn't just one of the trio that made up the first female governors in the country. She embraced her gender and played on the strengths that came with it to embody the title that had been bestowed upon her, Mama County. My colleague Salim Swale and I had the opportunity to sit down with her at her Sutik home last July and got the opportunity to experience that warmth, hospitality, and a rare glimpse into what made Dr. Laboso tick. Here's that story.
It's been 1 year since she took oath of office, unseating former Governor Isaac Ruto in one of the most bruising gubernatorial contests of the 2017 general election. The dust has since settled on those celebrations, and the first female governor of the county, and one of only 3 the country has ever had, has hit the ground running quite literally.
Breakfast.
Her priorities for this county very clear.
I am the head of this government. I must get it right, and to get it right, I must be able to plan well. and well, put the right people in the right place. And if I don't provide that leadership, and direction and guide on how I want things to be done.
That planning begins every day in the morning for the governor. At the breakfast table, for her, this is the most important meal of the day, and with good reason.
Probably the only meal where I can really have some quiet time and really, first of all, pray and then settle down, have a meal, be alone, because after I come out of here, it's just people and everybody everywhere. So you'll find I always just close that door, have breakfast quietly, reflect on what's ahead of me for the day, and kind of just mentally plan my day.
After getting in her early morning nourishment, it is off to the office for the governor. Since she took office in late August, she has kept a routine that sees her split her time between conducting county government business at her office and out in the field. Her zeal for her work informed by the promises she made to the electorate, promises she says she is keen to fulfill to the best of her ability.
How do we reduce poverty? By doing or working on the areas that we already have, capacity, we already have strength. For example, our good soils and, the fact that we have, fairly good rainfall almost throughout the year. So for us, that's what we are focused on.
Her plans towards achieving this cut across a wide spectrum of platforms, from the basic building blocks, early childhood education, to improved food production and everything in between. In this county, there is a flurry of activities centered around the construction and equipping of ECD centers. For the first time, some of the county's children are getting to learn their ABCs from permanent structures with the requisite learning material. In just 1 year, the county has completed the construction of over 80 classes. Double that number is expected to be done in the next year.
Mambo ya ECD naona inaendelea kujengwa, ingine imekuwa.
While she remains clear on what she wants to achieve for her county, it is not lost on her that the expectations on her are equally high. She says her attention is on delivery rather than politics. Her gender has also stood her in good favor both locally and internationally.
The unique governors are the first 3 women, because everybody else is the same. The first generation governors, all of them were male. So the new kids on the block are the 3 women governors. And so therefore, a lot of the partners would like to try out anything new, anything that they would wish to pilot. With the first thing is, why don't we start with the 3 female governors?
But she is also keen to cultivate an image of a competent governor, gender notwithstanding.
We are also focusing and making sure that all the departments actually have been put on a performance contract, that they are all expected to give us very clear targets of what it is that they are going to do, and they are going to be appraised on the same. So we just want to professionalize the way we are doing work in the county.
Managing public expectations is something that she says she continues to face almost on a daily basis.
People will relate more to women, more, and would be able to share even maybe things that they would not ordinarily think of even sharing with a man. So that feeling of motherliness and that feeling that she will understand, she's a mother, maybe has had children also like me. So that one is sometimes can be a little bit daunting, because everybody's expectations of what you should be able to do for them, and that you should be able to understand because you are a woman and you are a mother.
A battle she, however, is looking forward to winning is that of empowering the residents of Bomet to be self-sufficient.
So it is going to be agriculture, and we still, even the people that are supporting us, whether it is through the World Bank, Smart Agriculture, or several other donors that we are currently working with, all of them are really around agriculture, value addition, looking at very specific chains.
She knows she still has a long way to go before realizing her vision for the county, but she is also aware that her long journey from the classroom to the executive office of the county has equipped her with skills she hopes to tap into as she leads the county and blazes the trail for others who will come after her.
I think I'm still trying to get that reward. I'm still trying to assess the most rewarding part of the job. I think it's just the opportunity that I have been accorded to take up this role, and it will be, I guess I'll see the reward, towards the end, when all the mechanisms and all the things that I've put in place.
1 year down and 4 more to go, and the second governor of the county of Bomet says that she will invest in energies in ensuring that she delivers on her manifesto, and that by the time that her tenure ends, she will have left a positive mark on the people who put her into that office and into that privileged position as one of the pioneer female governors in the country. Brenda Wanga, NTV, in Bomet Town, Bomet County. Well, the curtains closed on the life and times of Dr. Laboso, and that reward that she talked about now left to the people of Bomet and indeed the entire country to bestow upon her. Dennis?
Well, Brenda, before I let you go, just a quick one, just watching yourself in that story a year later and just having all these emotions, what's going through your mind? And did she ever disclose that she was not well?
Well, Dennis, funny that you should mention that, because the night before we had this interview with her, we had actually accompanied her to some of the projects in the county, and she had been out in the field until around 8 p.m. in the evening. So there was no indication. She didn't tell us that she was unwell, and it is actually very remarkable to notice her strength coming through this piece, that perhaps at that time she was even battling this disease. So like many people in the country have said, quite a loss to the leadership in the country. Dennis?
What a shock. Thank you, Brenda Wanga. We want to take a short break. Our coverage of this story and this special is coming after the break. You don't want to go anywhere.
Africa's prime multi-sector products and equipment expo, the 22nd Kenya International Trade Exhibition is here. Meet companies from food and agriculture, printing and packaging, consumer products, industrial tools and equipment, fashion and garments. Meet companies from 28 countries at KICC Nairobi. Entry is free from the 1st to the 3rd of August between 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Be there.
Diamond Property Merchants welcomes you to Konza Greens, the only controlled residential development at Konza Techno City Buffer Zone, a gated community less than 2 kilometers from Konza SDR substation and adjacent to the standard gauge railway. Get an 8-acre plot for only 490,000 or an installment plan starting as low as 15,000 per month. Take advantage of this opportunity while the land is still affordable. Text the word Konza to 22002 or call us on 0722 850 000. Site visits this and every Saturday. Diamond Property Merchant, your home of strategic land investment.
Ngeni, pole imejaa.
Nini? Tunakujua kwa nini wazee wetu wanapotelea kwako.
Ndio tulikuwa tunataka kujua siri yako.
Siri ndio hiyo. Introducing the new salad oil with a spout for easy use. Comes packed with omega-6 and 9 and vitamin A and D and at a price that doesn't dent your wallet.
Leo utakula nyumbani.
Salad. Siri ndio hiyo.
Nation FM. More music and less talk. Nairobi 96.3, Mombasa 101.5, Meru 93.9, Nyeri 104.9, Eldoret 102.7, and Nakuru on 97.7. Follow us on social media on Facebook at Nation FM, Instagram at Nation FM, and on Twitter at Nation FM KE. Nation FM. More music and less talk.
I told you to kick it more to the left.
No, kick it higher.
No, to the left.
Come on, guys, stop it. Remember the win.
betting partner of Tottenham Hotspur.
EACC has recovered assets worth over 11 billion shillings and filed 400 cases in court seeking recovery, seizure and confiscation of unexplained assets worth over 10 billion shillings. Some of the properties recovered are 4.9 acres University of Nairobi land valued at over 2 billion shillings, the Mayor's House in Nairobi, 20 houses in Woodley Estate, Uhuru Gardens Mombasa, Mombasa High Court land, Karatina Police Station land, Uasin Gishu Hospital, 200 acres of Kalro land Nakuru, Postal Corporation land in Nakuru worth 780 million shillings, Taifa Park Kisumu, among others. These properties were returned back to the rightful owners. EACC, tuangamize ufisadi, tuijenge Kenya.
Now is your time to dance and rejoice.
It's time for the Great Gospel Crusade with Evangelist Daniel Kolenda and the ministry of Reinhard Bonke Nakuru.
That Jesus Christ is Lord to the glory of God the Father.
Come and receive your miracle from God at the 4-day Power Pack Crusade from Thursday 8th August to Sunday 11th August 2019. The venue is Afraha Stadium Open Grounds from 3 p.m. daily.
Come and be blessed.
Jesus is Lord.
Antibus. Haya, kwani gari ya mheshimiwa inajiendesha?
Thank you, my faithful brethren. Your royal king is back.
I have a job interview and need you to watch over my daughter.
Mtoto? Afadhali sufuria chafu. Mimi na mtoto zi.
So, how have you been? I've been quite good. Yeah. Getting even richer. But you don't say. But I do.
AMG Realtors brings you Kikopay Ridge. 8th acre parcels located just 5 minutes drive from Nairobi Nakuru Highway. Book with 50K, balance in 4 months. AMG Realtors. Integrity.
Ni hao uliniwacha mi bila fahamu kuwa ni yako zamu, angalau ungeniambia eti unakam nitulize hamu wangu wa dhati. Hey, tama zangu zimenikwamia mikononi, labda huu ni mwisho wa dunia. Safiri salama.
We are continuing with our coverage of Dr. Joyce Laboso, who passed on today. And here's a look at some of the late governor's memorable moments from the time in Parliament to the helm of the country's leadership.
Once you've offered yourself for a public office, then expect anything from anybody at any time. When you sit on that chair as the speaker, I'm no longer a Jubilee speaker or any other speaker. I am the Speaker of the National Assembly, therefore acting as the arbiter.
I, Laboso Joyce Cherono, do swear that I shall always truly and diligently serve the people and the Republic of Kenya in the office of Governor of Bomet County.
Governor Joyce Laboso's death brings to the fore the human cost of cancer, but the disease is claiming even more lives in the country. It's now third in the list of killer diseases in the country. Gladys Gashanja joins us now, and she puts the startling statistics into perspective. Gladys?
Well, thank you, Dennis. Let's talk about the story of cancer in numbers. Joyce's death comes barely 3 days after the death of Kibra MP Ken Okoth. Now, here's some more disturbing numbers. A recent World Health Organization report published in 2018 and compiled by its International Agency for Research on Cancer lays out the scope of the cancer burden in Kenya. Now, let's take a look at these very key numbers that were also provided by KEMRI and the Eldoret Cancer Registries. Now, it tabulates that there were 47,887 new cancer cases in 2018. And now get this, out of those numbers, 32,987 people actually succumbed to cancer. Now, moving on to those numbers and looking at them from each sex, and in this case, the number of new cases among men within the same year was at 19,199, and for women, it was 28,688. Now, something to notice here, Dennis, is that the number of women affected by cancer is higher, and it actually also reflects in the number of cancer deaths among men, which is actually at 14,215 compared to that of women that was actually at 18,772. Now, before we get to the top 3 cancer killers among men, it is important at this point to actually mention that the risk of developing and dying from cancer before the age of 75 is higher among women compared to men in that WHO report. Now, the top 3 cancers among men, as you can see, prostate cancer, esophagus cancer, and colorectal cancer, which is also known as the colon cancer. The top 3 cancers among women are breast cancer, cervical cancer, and esophagus cancer. Now, it is interesting to notice that these are things that cross over both the genders, and esophageal cancer is the top killer in Kenya, ahead of cervical cancer, breast cancer, stomach cancer, and prostate cancers, with 4,354 deaths reported every year that are associated to esophageal cancer. Well, those are the numbers coming through from the WHO, and it is interesting at this point to have all those that are in the health sector sit up and pay attention, because cancer is real and the burden of the same is here with us. Dennis?
Well, Gladys, very interesting but disturbing statistics there. And I'm trying to recall Bridget's Ghana in Bomet interviewed a gentleman who said that esophagus cancer is actually the leading killer disease in Bomet. Is this really true?
There is actually a lot of truth from that. There is another report that came out from the KEMRI and the Eldoret Cancer Registries, and it actually says esophagus cancer is the leading cause of cancer deaths in Eldoret, and also it tabulates other counties, 12 of them to be specific, and each of those counties has a different burden of cancer to look out. So this goes to inform that each and every county has a priority area to look into. Dennis?
Well, thank you, Gladys. We'll continue following this story and, of course, the events and all the activities with regards to the death of Dr. Joyce Laboso. That is from tomorrow. But we just have other stories that we have prepared for in this bulletin. Kiambu Governor Ferdinand Waititu, his wife, and 8 suspects will spend one more night in police custody as the courts prepare to give the terms and conditions of their release on bond. The 10 were charged in relation to the 588 million shillings dubious road tender, but they denied the charges. NTV's Brenda Wanga reports.
After a night in police custody, the governor, his wife, and 8 other accused people made their way to the Milimani cells in preparation for their day in court. But it will be another 3 hours before they were produced in the anti-corruption court. They are charged with a number of offences, including fraud, conflict of interest, dealing with suspect property, money laundering, and abuse of office.
They say Testimony Enterprises Limited by the Kiambu County Government. Waititi, true or false?
The charges relate to a 588 million shillings tender awarded to Testimony Enterprises for roadworks in Kiambu. The Director of Public Prosecutions has questioned the manner in which the tender was awarded. Of that amount, Waitito and his wife are accused of receiving 25 million shillings from Testimony through Saika 2 Estate Company, where the wife is a director. An application by the defense to have the suspects released on bond was unopposed, but the terms of their release was a bone of contention.
The spirit of Section 62, subsection 1 of the ASECA, just like the rest of the accused persons, will not go back to their offices. The governor should not.
Are very serious.
The defense, however, argues that imposing such a restriction will be tantamount to removing the governor from office through the back door.
And lastly, the likelihood of interference with witnesses.
The prosecution says that a recent ruling that governors facing corruption charges should stay away from their offices and their roles taken over by the deputies for the duration of the trial was prejudicial to the accused and will deny the electorate their rightfully elected leader.
The courts must call out corruption what it is and make it as expensive as it can be.
There be equality amongst all the accused persons in terms of Article 27, insofar as that issue is concerned.
The accused are also expected to surrender their travel documents to the courts and are required to stay away from witnesses in the case. Spending one more night in police custody may just be the tip of the iceberg for the governor, as his continued stay in office will be determined by what this court decides tomorrow. Brenda Wanga, NTV, Nairobi.
The court has issued a warrant of arrest against the Italian CEO of CMC di Ravenna, the Italian construction company implicated in the Aurora and Kimarer dam scam, after he failed to appear in court for the second time to face corruption charges. In the meantime, David Kimosop, the former managing director of the Kerio Valley Development Authority, was charged alongside 7 others with a number of corruption-related offences in relation to the 63 billion shillings dam scam.
It was the turn of the second group of suspects accused of being involved in the loss of funds for the Aurora and Kimarer dam scam to have their day in court. Former managing director of the Kerio Valley Development Authority, David Kimosop, alongside 7 others, were charged with conspiracy to defraud, abuse of office, and failing to follow procurement procedures. Kimosop was arrested last Friday at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport as he returned to the country from the Democratic Republic of Congo. The court also granted the Director of Public Prosecution's request and issued a warrant of arrest against the CEO of Italian firm CMC di Ravenna, Paolo Pocelli, after he failed to appear in court for the second time.
Mr. Nami.
Special Prosecutor Taib Ali Taib asked the court that he be declared a fugitive.
The only way to uphold our dignity is for us first as the prosecution to insist that this court ought to uphold that dignity. And the second step is for this court to uphold its own dignity by issuing those warrants. Don't allow counsel to run around using semantics and splitting hairs. Again, Your Honor, we are not concerned about plea. We are concerned about the failure of the accused persons to attend court.
The prosecution had also opposed the bid by lawyer Ken Anami to take plea on behalf of CMC di Ravenna, Kenya and Italy implicated in the scandal. The Italian firms are at the heart of investigations into the loss of 63 billion shillings for the Aurora and Kimarer Dams project. Top officials at the Treasury, including Cabinet Secretary Henry Rotich, have been charged with corruption-related offences. Sharon Baranga, NTV.
From the courts, we take another break. Julian Simboko standing by with the day's business news. Stay put.
Riara University really pushes for change and overall transformation and innovation.
And I know that Riara University is going to make my dreams come true.
The Riara University. Dream it. Realize it. Registration is ongoing.
Dad has not been feeling well for a long time. He has become so weak, we can't play together.
Why are you refusing to go to the hospital? I told you there is no way you'll know if it is TB or not if you do not go and get tested. If by any chance you find out that you have TB, you'll get the treatment for free from any hospital. All the tests are free. All the medications are free. Are you waiting to infect your family so that you can go to the hospital?
Don't wait till it's too late. TB is preventable, treatable, and curable.
Beat germs with Jik. Kills 99.9% of germs on your kitchen surfaces, sponges, chopping boards, sink and fridge, and your bathroom taps, showerhead, basin, and surfaces. Just Jik it. Look out for our new improved packaging in store. Just Jik it.
AMG Realtors brings you Kikopey Ridge. 8th-acre parcels located just 5 minutes drive from Nairobi-Nakuru Highway. Accessible at the popular Kikopey stopover. Kikopey Ridge enjoys beautiful views of Lake Elementaita. Buy now at 350k and save 50,000 shillings. Installments price is 400,000 shillings. Book with 50k, balance in 4 months. Join us on our open day on 3rd August and this beautiful puppy might be yours. SMS Kikopey to 40299. AMG Realtors. Integrity.
Je, maumivu ya kichwa na kukosesha amani? Kaluma Strong hutuliza maumivu ya kichwa, maumivu ya mwili na hata huondoa joto jingi mwilini. Kaluma Strong ina aspirin kama kiungo. Maumivu yakizidi, muone daktari.
This is Motorhub, ultimately Kenya's finest car dealer company. Our cars are carefully sourced and selected, backed up with excellent skilled personnel. Our aim is to ensure value for your money as well as peace of mind.
When it comes to affordability check, reliability check, finance check, quality redefined check, any type of car check. Whenever you need that dream car, tutembele. Mambo hapa yamenyooka nyoro nyoro.
So, are you in need of a car? Now you know. Motorhub, we are quality redefined.
Making my family some nutritious porridge is a painstaking process. First, I have to find all the ingredients needed, and there are many. For vitamins, proteins, and minerals, I need cassava, sorghum, millet. You no longer need to go through all that to make nutritious porridge. All you need is NutriPro.
You don't have to go through the trouble of finding, measuring, and weighing all these vital ingredients. New NutriPro porridge flour comes fortified with 13 vitamins, proteins, and minerals. This means that you have more time to focus on what's important, giving your family the healthy start they deserve. NutriPro, bringing families together. From Tropical Brand.
Can I buy a chocolate, please? It's for my mom. Happy birthday, Mom.
Thank you, Bella. There's a class and a half in everyone.
And let's get down to business. Welcome, I am Julian Amboko. Now, the insurance sector continues to take a beating from rising claims if the results of listed companies in the current financial year are anything to go by. In its latest performance for the first 6 months of 2019, CIC Group has reported a 96% dip in its latest earnings to just 21 million shillings.
In the 6 months ending June 2019, insurance and investment firm CIC Group posted a 21 million shillings net profit, down from 537 million shillings in the same period in 2018. The company has attributed this plunge in earnings to a relatively fast rise in claims, which jumped by 7.9% to cross the 5 billion shilling mark in the period under review. The massive dip in profitability points to the wider challenge facing the insurance sector in the country as players confront rising claims amidst depressed revenues. In the full year ended December 2018, Kenya Reinsurance Corporation posted a 2.3 billion shillings net profit, a 36% decline from the net profit recorded in 2017. In the period, Kenya Re saw its claims rise by 16.2% to 8.8 billion shillings, even as its income remained flat at 18 billion shillings. It was the same case for insurance and investment firm Liberty Holdings, which made a net profit of 549 million shillings in 2018, an 18.5% decline from the same period in 2017. Liberty Holdings saw its income over this period fall by 10.7% to 9.3 billion shillings. Investors will now be keenly watching how players in the sector make adjustments to deliver value for shareholders, even as the business environment continues to deteriorate. The share of CIC Group closed Monday straight at 3 shillings and 37 cents, 5.3% lower than it closed last week, and translating into a 497 million shillings loss in paper wealth for shareholders.
Tough season for insurance, but away from that, Kenya risks losing out on the quest to secure more tourists through diversification of its attractions if it does not move fast to effectively implement policies which will make that a reality. Rather, Mauritius, a regional competitor for tourists, is already on the path to diversify its offering, with a recently inaugurated sports complex and the groundwork being laid out to become an education hub. Lillian Carrier with more on that story.
Kenya has for years commercialized the sandy beaches of the Indian Ocean and the enchanting scenery of its landscape and wildlife that makes for delightful safaris. But with more countries in the continent serving the same menu on their platter, Kenya could borrow a leaf from its neighbors on how to widen its attractions.
We are becoming an education hub. We provide first-class university education in lots of fields. Mauritius is very good for religious tourism, and we have, in September, we have the visit of His Holiness the Pope, who is coming to Mauritius on the 9th of September. We have just inaugurated a sports complex that can host major tournaments like soccer.
Kenya began direct flights to the island nation through Kenya Airways last year in June. It's a move that has opened up more opportunities for trade between the two countries, even as both their national carriers experience prolonged turbulence owing to multiple factors.
The challenges for countries like Kenya and Mauritius with regard to their national carriers are similar. The costs of operations are going up. The equipment that they have is not maybe suited for the destination that we serve. The price of fuel keeps going up, so we are vulnerable to lots of things happening over which we have no control.
The bilateral partnerships between Kenya and Mauritius come at a time when Africa is seeking to deal a body blow to the challenge of low intracontinental trade volumes.
African Continental Free Trade Area has come into existence. There will be dismantling of barriers for trade and services. So we need to know each other. We need to invest in each other's countries.
According to the Kenya Tourism Board, the number of international tourists who visited the country last year hit the 2 million mark, earning the country 157 billion shillings last year. This is a figure that is set to increase if policies to diversify are effectively implemented. Lillian Kiarie, NTV.
And elsewhere, the industrial action by a section of digital taxi operators seems to have fizzled out, with services getting back to normal in cities where the apps operate. Some of the drivers of Uber, Bolt, Mara Moja and Little Cab were seeking to have the amount they receive per trip increased, but market forces seem to have prevailed. The digital taxi business is experiencing a glut, a situation which has led to rock-bottom prices, leading to disgruntled drivers but happy clients. The strike started mid this month and spilled over into last week, and since then it has progressively weakened in stature. The digital taxi apps have disrupted the cab transport business, leading to a more efficient allocation of services and employing thousands of people in the process. And staying with matters travel, but now on aviation, besides an upcoming trial brought about by the families of Kenyan victims in the Ethiopian Airlines Boeing 737 MAX 8 crash early this year, Boeing is facing revelations of inadequately attending to safety concerns during the plane's certification process. According to an engineer who worked with the aircraft manufacturer for 3 decades, engineers were pressured to classify new features of the aircraft as minor in order to avoid the additional costs associated with training for them. The entire fleet of Boeing MAX 7 globally was grounded following the crashes in the space of 5 months, which led to loss of over 300 lives. Boeing says it may halt the production of the MAX entirely. Uncertainty remains on when the American Federal Aviation Administration will certify the plane as safe to fly and whether the public will regain trust in the aircraft that has additional software compared to conventional planes. And that's where we close business tonight. Up next is the financial report.
I help women find independence by training them in fish farming. It's tough on my back, joints, and can cause headaches. Panadol Extra relieves multiple types of pain. Panadol Extra, now with new Optizorb technology to fight multiple tough pains with 3 times more pain-relieving medicine in the first 30 minutes when you need it most. Seeing them support themselves makes any pain worth it. If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
Who wants to answer? Mary?
Mary has a toothache.
Oh, I see. And who knows why?
Because her tooth is too big.
No, it might be a hole in her tooth called a cavity. That's why I brush twice a day using Colgate.
Imagine this is your tooth and these are food acids that cause cavities. Colgate with calcium and fluoride helps prevent cavities
For maximum cavity protection.
and now available in a 12-gram sachet for fresh breath. Only 15 shillings.
Selena!
Toto, where's mommy?
Today's a toilet day.
What? Oh.
Selena!
Toilet day?
Tomorrow we're hosting a party and it's a matter of my reputation.
It's a toilet, not a white shirt. Even if you spend your entire day cleaning with bleach and detergent, it still won't be party ready.
Impossible.
Challenge. Harpic 10X. Even if you use bleach and detergent 10 times, they won't give you the same sparkling clean toilet that Harpic 10X will give you.
Wow!
Harpic 10X. Harpic, Kenya's #1 toilet cleaner.
Tusonge mbele na Fiber Mobile. Get a Fiber SIM card today and enjoy Tusonge mbele bundles at affordable prices.
Birthday party. Birthday party.
Birthday party. Birthday party. Are we not invited?
We have gifts.
Malaria.
Mommy, pests!
Run.
Oh, die.
Party.
Compared to an ordinary spray, Mortein Doom Power Guard kills disease-causing pests instantly. Mortein Doom Power Guard.
Ukiambiwa 1 + 2, 10 marks. Huwezi andika 3.
Hebu fanya ujinga, uvae jeans, t-shirt na kofia. Uingie kwa gari, makanga akuitishe fare, umwambie nitakupea tukishuka. Unasikianga? Dondoa moja dere.
Avena contains omega-6 and 9 and is fortified with vitamins A and D. New Avena Premium Vegetable Cooking Oil. Now available in all leading stores.
Welcome back to a story that we've been following for you. 4 suspects arrested in Shinyalu, Kakamega County over the brutal murder of a suspected thief will remain in custody for 15 more days to allow the prosecution more time to firm up their case against them. Athman Ali asked the court in Kakamega for more time to conclude investigations and carry out a mental test on the suspects before they are charged with murder. Francis Muse Liseche, in a now viral video, was captured savagely slashing the alleged thief in public using a panga. The victim died from excessive bleeding. Police are also looking for the man who captured the video and who they say will be a key witness in the case. While Interior Cabinet Secretary in a statement says following the incident, police conducted an operation in the area and arrested 26 suspects, including the area chief, who is said to have been in close proximity to the scene of crime, but took no action. In the meantime, the victims' fingerprints have been taken for forensic analysis and identification. Break Sports is coming up next.
The world-famous Molfix and saw the difference. Let's see how absorbent Molfix is.
Molfix, thanks to its ultra-absorbent particles, can keep more liquid than the other diaper brand, so you can use it comfortably all day long.
All babies deserve a high-quality diaper. You should also try Molfix.
Wacha niende hivi nikuletea hata kali katika hii. Wewe unataka nini?
Can I buy a chocolate, please? It's for my mom. Happy birthday, Mom.
Thank you, Bella. There's a class and a half in everyone.
Haya, kwani gari ya mheshimiwa inajiendesha?
Thank you, my faithful brethren. Your royal king is back.
I have a job interview and need you to watch over my daughter.
Mtoto? Afadhali sufuria chafu. Mimi na mtoto zi.
So, how have you been? I've been quite good. Yeah. Getting even richer. But you don't say. But I do.
AMG Realtors brings you Kikopay Range. 8-acre parcels located just 5 minutes drive from Nairobi-Nakuru Highway. Book with 50K, balance in 4 months. AMG Realtors. Integrity.
Hoping your week has gotten off to a fantastic start. I'm Idorenga, and it's time to play. Well, Tusker FC's Boniface Mushiri and Kakamega Homeboys' Kevin Omondi have received call-ups to the national team to face Tanzania in the second leg CHAN qualifier coming up on Sunday. This as the Harambee Stars jetted back to the country from Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, where they held the hosts to a 0-0 stalemate in the first leg of their African Nations Championship qualifier. Well, the team is back in camp and will hold their first session on Tuesday evening at the Kasarani Stadium in the run-up to Sunday's match. The winner on aggregate will face Sudan in the second and qualifying round. Sebastian Minye's Chargers will be hoping to qualify for the tournament for the first time in the country's history. Shooting hoops now, where the national men's basketball team arrived in the country early this morning from Bamako, Mali, where they finished second in their inaugural edition of the FIBA Afro-CHAN Championship. The Kenya Morans lost 82-61 to their Congolese opponents in the final on Saturday. DR Congo had won the first quarter 29-18 before Kenya won the second 19-7. DRC would then be victorious in the third and fourth quarters 29-10 and 17-14 respectively. Kenya's Tyler Ongwae Okari was the best scorer with 21 points, one ahead of Maxi Shamba of DRC. On their way to the final, Kenya beat African heavyweights Tunisia, Nigeria, Morocco, and Ivory Coast. The Principal Secretary of Sports, Peter Kaberia, welcomed the team at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport.
But at the end of the day, they were better than us. Yeah.
Nini hasa mmesoma kule katika mashindano yote?
Watu wamegain new experience. Next games itakuwa poa. So hiyo experience tu waone watu kwa nje venye wanacheza nini na nini hivyo ya.
Nchi yetu saa hizi inaendelea kutia fora katika michezo tofauti tofauti. Ukiangalia upande wa vikapu, upande wa kadada, upande wa farasi saa hizi, upande wa kama ni mbio za magari, ukienda upande wa ndondi, ukienda upande wa raga. Wiki iliyopita wale chipu waliibuka kuwa namba 6 dunia nzima kule Brazil.
We are planning also to set aside some money for 4 other stadiums in phase 2. That will be Mukuru kwa Jenga, Dagoreti, Mihango and Tena. Tuko na gymnasium ya basketball, tuko na netball, volleyball na swimming pool. Nadhani Nairobi will never be the same again.
While recent Bandari signing Danson Chetambe proved his new club's acquisition valid, being named the Footballer of the Month for the last month of the concluded Kenyan Premier League season. This as FKF South Coast branch clubs are set to get some reprieve after passing of the Kandanda Bill by the Mombasa County Assembly.
Danson Chetambe.
Former Zoo FC playmaker Danson Chetambe is the Sports Journalists Association of Kenya May-June Footballer of the Month. Chetambe helped Zoo evade relegation last season courtesy of 5 goals he scored within the month to help Zoo finish 2 slots above the red line. Chetambe, who has since joined Mombasa-based Bandari FC, beat out Tusker duo of Boniface Mushiri and David Majak, who finished 2nd and 3rd respectively. The Mombasa County Assembly has passed the Kandanda Bill that will see clubs financed to a tune of 12 million shillings by the county government. Funding is set to be channeled towards affiliation and participation fees, as well as transport and referee fees. The motion was tabled by the Frere Town Member of County Assembly, Charles Kitula, and backed unanimously by the members of the House. Pritam Rupra won the expert stage of the 2nd edition of the 4x4 Challenge held at the Champagne Park in Kipeto, Kajiado County. Rupra secured breakthrough, garnering 320 points while driving a Toyota FJ40. The intermediate stage was won by Patel Vishnav, who scored 50 points via his Toyota Land Cruiser, while the beginner stage crown was taken by Bode Gurjot, who managed 5 points using a Nissan hardbody. The weekend championship attracted a total of 30 drivers.
Let's cross borders now to Olympic champion Dalila Muhammad, who set the world record in the 400 meters hurdles when she ran a blistering 52.20 seconds in the rain at the United States National Championships. Well, Muhammad's time smashed the previous mark of 52.2. Former Manchester United left-back Patrice Evra announced his retirement from football, bringing a trophy-laden... Not yet.
So Peke, who is actually behind one of the cameras
Right.
in front of us, asked me, how much do our football players earn? I didn't have an answer to that. And I think you do have an answer.
Exactly. We're having that conversation. Well, it depends, because there are also different tiers when we talk about football in Kenya. But it can
Division
go...
one.
Let's talk about maybe
Like
the National Super League, yeah,
Okay.
which is Division 2, and the top tier, which is the Kenyan Premier League. So I'm going to give you a range anywhere from between maybe 25K to 25K
Okay.
to 150K.
Those are like wages per day, I'm guessing, right?
You know, that's a conversation for another day.
week or per
But
month?
we're doing an average. We're doing an average for per
25
month.
to what?
Per month.
Per month.
25 to 150K.
To 150.
An average of that.
Per month?
Yeah. That's between the two leagues, you know, the National Super League and the Kenyan Premier League. So interesting question there, you know.
We have a long way, my goodness.
Yeah, quite a long way.
Well, it's been a long night. Thank you so much for watching this news broadcast. It's 25 past the hour. My name is Dennis Okari.
I'm Ida Orenga.
And our sign language presenter tonight has been David Agondoa. Have a good night.